Alrighty, everybody. What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to another live. We are going to be talking about this upcoming tornado threat that we actually have here for coming in through pretty much Friday to Sunday. We're going to need to talk about that. But anyways, guys, it's good to see ya. Oh, my goodness. Mizzle, is that how you say your name? Thank you so much for the $10 super chat right off the bat, my friend. Thank you. That is really, really nice of you, Mizzle. Hopefully I'm saying your name right. I really appreciate it, my friend. So thank you so much for the 10. I appreciate it. But anyways, guys, what's up, Twilight? What's up, Mizzle? Good to see ya. That's all we have in the chat here so far. We're going to take a second to wait for people to join here. But I hope you guys are having a great night. We're doing a little bit of a late live stream here tonight. We're going to talk about this threat on Friday. Well, as of right now, the SPC, the Storm Prediction Center, they do have a severe weather risk here for Friday. So as of right now, it's just a little marginal risk here for Friday, including areas south of Lubbock for Big Spring, Texas, Snyder, Midland. Let's see, Pecos, Fort Stockton. These areas are in a level 1 threat here for Friday, but Friday, I don't think is going to be the main day. I think the main day is probably going to be for Saturday and Sunday. We're going to get in the models here in 1 second, and I'm going to explain why. But as of right now, we are just in a level 1 marginal risk here for Friday. So we have a little bit of a severe weather already severe weather risk from the SPC already there. Let's see here. Do I think that South Carolina will see any lightning from this system? I really want storms. Tired of the cold. I hear ya. Honestly, I really haven't seen much data to really determine if those areas are going to see it in the Carolinas. I don't think you guys are probably going to get much of it. So here's the instability. This is the American GFS model. I want to go ahead and mention that. This is, the fuel in the atmosphere. So we go on Friday, you can see for Friday evening, we do develop a pretty good amount of instability throughout the atmosphere for portions of Texas, obviously where that risk is for areas like Midland. Some of the instability even works its way up into like Oklahoma City. So if I was to, let's say, overlay our day 3 outlook again, you can kind of see, whoops, didn't mean to do all that now. But you can kind of see where they overlap. You can see the main threats over by Midland area here for Friday. And some of that instability goes into like areas of Oklahoma, which we can see we do have the instability working its way in there as well. So then we go into Saturday. Saturday also seems like another day we need to look out for, because you can see a lot of Texas, a lot of central eastern Texas will be kind of, in a relatively unstable environment here. So that's definitely something we need to look for. Also, a little bit of Oklahoma here. And then we go into Sunday, which, some of the Gulf Coast could see bits of that instability. Now, for the Carolinas, I don't see much instability working its way out there. It seems like it's going to be really hugging the coast, according to the American GFS model, so I really wouldn't count on it. Anyways, Free Thinking coming in with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. Really appreciate it. Thank you. What's up, Kaylee? Good to see you. What's up, Weather Authority? What's up, you guys? What's up, Sonia? Hope you're doing well. GTA says, is Central Illinois or Illinois in general the risk for this weekend? No, those areas are not going to be, in the risk here for any severe weather. This is mostly going to be a pretty far south event, mostly for areas like Texas, Louisiana, maybe Oklahoma, Arkansas, maybe Mississippi, Alabama, some of those states out in the deep south, more than likely. It'll be most likely a bit of a southerly storm system, which, this is already kind of showing some signs that, spring just might be right around the corner. Anyways, what's up, Kim? Saying hi, Andrew. Good to see you. Good to see you as well. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Free Thanking with the 5. Once again, thank you so much. Saying, hey, Andrew, hope all is well. You as well, Free Thanking. If there's anything I can do for you, let me know. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you all so much. Free Thinking, as well as Mizzle, thank you guys so much for the kind love and support right off the bat. I really appreciate you guys. Hey, man, y'all keep us rolling. I really appreciate it. So thank you guys for the donations. It's greatly appreciated. Let's see, that sucks. I'm so ready for it. Yeah, it'll probably be a little bit before you get any severe weather or anything like that, because it takes a little bit for things to warm up. We get a lot of our moisture from the Gulf here, and you got to have a really strong low, pretty high up in latitude, really pulling in a lot of moisture from down south to really do something like that. But this system, this low, is pretty low. No pun intended. Here, let's actually bring up our sea level pressure here. Let's see. We'll change the width to 2. All right, so there we go. Hopefully it'll actually show up here. Oh, you know what? I forgot to change it to white. That's why we can't see it, because the backdrop is black here. There we go. So now we should be able to see it. Yeah. So you can see that low. That central low is right over like Arkansas. So, that low would have to be a lot higher up north, and it would probably have to be a bit stronger for it to pull up more warm air further north and, more instability and stuff. And, the further north it would be, the more cooler air would be pulling down from up north and, more warmer air. It would just be more aggressive if it was further north. But no. What's up, Noah? Good to see ya. Heck yeah, bring on the spring. I know, I'm ready for it. I know a lot of you guys are as well. That is for sure. Let's see here. Thank you, Twilight. Appreciate it. What's up, Chogan? Good to see you. Hello, how is everyone? What part of Texas will be, or this take place? My zip code is this. Can I check on for me, please? Yes, I could do that. Here, let's hop over here. Pull up the zip code. This is up here in... Okay, so you're out by Dallas area. So we were looking at the models. It looks like on Saturday there might be a little bit of a threat, maybe for storms and perhaps severe weather. Right now, the SPC does not have a risk for Saturday. We do have one for Friday as of right now, but I do think that the risk will continue into Saturday here. So let's go back a little bit. So yeah, this is for Saturday. This is Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. You can see that we do have a bit of instability. A bit of fuel in the atmosphere for, potential severe weather and storms in general. Here, let's throw up our lower level wind shear too. Yeah, you can see right now we do, for this time for Saturday, the American GFS does show a little bit of instability, a bit of wind shear overlapping that instability, which that could really be good for, storm organization, getting those storms pretty organized. Actually, we'll put that at the bottom. You can see the instability overlapping it. Let me actually grab a sounding here. I'm curious to kind of see, are they still having that glitch where the soundings don't want to work? You know what? We might even be able to switch over to NAM at this point. Yeah, NAM is actually available right now. But NAM doesn't show as much instability. It also shows it a little bit further south. So there's a bit of model disagreement there. Ooh, look at that, though. Yeah, going into Sunday, looks like that low digs a little bit further south, like comparing to what GFS has to say. Maybe this will work with the sounding. Yeah, they're probably just having an outage on their site for the soundings, or maybe I just need to update it or something. I don't know. See, it's freezing. Got a lot of rain coming in. Chance of snow the next few days in Scotland. Ooh, yeah. That does not sound like a good time. Really does not. Be safe out there, my friend. See, very warm temperatures next week in Indiana. Yeah, it's actually supposed to warm up for a lot of people. Matter of fact, it's actually looking a lot better than it was. That's for sure. See, my local weather guy says we're going to see some beefy storms on Friday, Saturday. Yeah, probably. That's the whole point of why we're talking about it tonight. Yeah, I mean, it seems like a decent little event here. Like I said, that low is pretty far south latitude, so, it's not going to pull a lot of that fuel up too far up north. So it's going to be relatively a shallow event for the south. Like I said, mostly Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi. Some of those areas will probably see the most bits of, severe weather. But, combining that lower level wind shear profile and the instability, I mean, you could see that we're overlapping some pretty good environments. Here, let me pull up the dew point too. We'll put up points for our dew point here. That we can see the dew point value. Ooh, wow, look at that. Yeah, dew point's in the mid-60s according to the NAM here. I mean, that's a pretty good environment, actually. Our lower level shear, according to the NAM here, shows about 40 to 50 knots of lower level winds at 850 millibars. So that's about, 4,000 feet up or so? I mean, that's pretty fast winds at low altitudes. I could really get some organization. Typically with that low being so close to, we could have a bit of a tornadic concern. That's going to be a big concern. I think damaging winds and tornadoes are going to be a bit of a concern here. But it's not really a bad environment. It really isn't. It looks pretty good. I might, you know what? Here, I'm going to remove all this. I might be able to pull up the RRFS model. Let's see here. RRFS. We should be able to reach this far. Yeah, this model does go a bit far. We'll go back to the 0 UTC run. Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's a bit more of a higher res model you can see here. Which, I mean, you can see here for Saturday, a lot of instability does build in throughout, like Texas, maybe bits of like Oklahoma. Which ultimately it goes eastward towards like Louisiana. I wonder if I could put the 850 wind speeds on that as well. Let's see. Noah says live in India. Oh, I already read that one. Whoops. I'm bad at that. You know what? There we go. Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, man, this seems like a pretty decent little event here. See, finally getting some severe weather again. Yeah, it seems like it. I think Sunday's going to have the best ingredients available. Like I said, you can see for Friday, we have a bit of that instability. Not much wind shear, so it's not going to be as severe on Friday. Then we go into Saturday here. Then you can see how we build in more instability for the evening, afternoon of Saturday, for portions of Texas, like Louisiana. Or did I really just call Oklahoma, Louisiana? You guys didn't hear that. Bits of Texas and Oklahoma. Well, eventually Louisiana will be included. But yeah, pretty good wind shear. It's, that low is starting to strengthen over Oklahoma here. And then, of course, like I said, then we build in the Sunday, and that's where we have some stronger wind shear. And the reason that our wind shear gets stronger is because that low is strengthening. It's deepening. So those winds are going to be flowing a little bit more aggressive, and that'll. Wow, yeah, I think that'll really bring a pretty good event for Louisiana. We're going to have to see what happens here. I'm going to keep a close eye on the models. So let me bring up the future radar with this, though. Precipitation, we'll do. Where's composite? There we go. That'll be good. Oh, wow. Yeah, look at that line. Goodness. Goodness. So that'll be... Yeah, pretty much for... Actually, this is showing overnight. Yeah, look at that. The RRFS shows the system kind of rolling into Louisiana around 12 a.m. on Sunday. So we might actually be able to cover this. I've been in total nocturnal mode the last several days here. So I've been like mostly awake during the night and asleep during most of the day. Which that'll be good because I'll actually be able to cover that. But yeah, you can see it starts on Friday. It's just a bunch of scattered cells. And then, of course, we go into Saturday for the afternoon. We maybe, have a little bit of a line, maybe a bit of a prefrontals ahead of it. But yeah, it's really once we approach Sunday. Goodness. Let's see here. Shogun says we need a rain bag. It's so much drought going on. Yeah, here in Florida, too. Actually, I think we're under a state of emergency from what I heard from all the fires. Or from all the dry conditions, aiding aiding farmers. Now look at the severe side of the storm. Yeah, that's the only bad side is that there is a bit of damaging characteristics with the event, unfortunately. Rather than not have severe weather, I have friends down in South, especially Louisiana. Yeah, I hear you. Isaac says, "Hey Andrew, I'm in Northeast Illinois. I'm thinking wind and maybe some rain in the 18th. What do I think? That's a little bit far fetched. I mean, that is a week out. Let's pull up the. Here, we'll do precip type on the GFS. Yeah, I mean, it is a little bit far out. We actually do have a new run of the GFS coming through. There we go. Yeah, so there is a little bit of a northern system from GFS here towards the Great Lakes. Maybe some snow for the upper Great Lakes, maybe some rain down south a little bit further. That is showing for the 18th. Here, let's look at Euro. It's good to compare models. Here, we'll go back to 12 UTC here. Yeah, there's obviously a lot of disagreement. Wow. Euro wants a really big snowstorm up there for like a lot of southern Canada. I mean, it's possible, but obviously you can see there's a bit of disagreement, so it's going to need to be worked out. Let's see. Free Thinking says, all right, Andrew, give me the news. Always something here, I swear. Yeah, it seems like it, does it? All right, well, let me look. Let's see what we got. So you're up in, that's right, you're up in towards Macon. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, you might be far enough south where we might actually see maybe a little bit of something go on. Let me pull up the, we'll do composite reflectivity again. And we'll also overlay the instability. We'll do most unstable cape. Why not? Actually, no. We're gonna do mixed layer cape, but I'm gonna bring up the RRFS model again, which I don't think it goes that far. Now we'll pull back up the GFS. All right, here we go. All right, so there's that system. It's really hard to say, honestly. Free Thinking. The models, I mean, that's, if it's gonna hit you, it's gonna be on Sunday. So according to this model, there could be some instability still lingering. It's really hard to say how far south this low will go, because, you know, some models do show that low a little bit further south than others. So, like, the RRFS has it going more for, like, Louisiana, not really as much of, like, Arkansas as, like, the GFS does suggest and whatever, or whatnot. So, I mean, it's possible we could get some storms. Hard to say about any severe weather here. Let's look at Euro. We'll bring up our most unstable cape here. Yeah, I mean, Euro does show maybe a little bit of instability there, too. All right, here's the verdict. Free Thinking models do show that system rolling through. I mean, you're more than likely you'll probably get some type of precipitation from this, maybe a little bit of rain. Possibly some storms. I mean, there is some instability between both of the models. I mean, I think it's possible, but I can't really say much. But we'll keep you up to date. I'll let you know as we get closer. What's up, a Red Rose? Good to see you. Hello from Hot. How do you say that? Oh gosh, not another one. Is it Haera? I'm so bad with names. I really apologize. Let's see here. Oh my goodness, Beanie, please don't self-advertise on my channel, dude. Isaac says, see, a little message, Andrew, you give me lots of inspiration to be a meteorologist. Thank you. I love the weather. Oh, well, thank you, Isaac. I appreciate that. That's really sweet of you. Free Thinking says, thank you, Andrew. No problem, my friend. No problem at all. But yeah, we'll definitely keep a close eye on this system. You know, we'll definitely keep you guys up to date with everything. Here, let's hop back over here to this one. Here, we'll bring back up our RRFS model. Yeah, we're definitely starting to get some of that short range support. Here, let's pull this up here. We'll pull back up our composite reflectivity. Here we go. Go back to the 0 UTC. Yeah, but the event really looks to be the strongest probably on Sunday. So we'll have to really keep an eye out for Sunday. I definitely do plan to do some coverage for Sunday. See, the problem is, y'all, is with this event on Sunday, you know, it really seems like we're going to have a nighttime event here, which obviously with it being nighttime, potential for like nocturnal severe weather. Nighttime severe weather is not really good, especially with potential tornadoes. Given the environment here, there's good instability, good wind shear, that's available here. So, I mean, it definitely looks like a pretty decent little event. But yeah, like I said, the problem with it is it's going to be nighttime, which that makes me a little bit uncomfortable. Yeah, it's not good to have any severe weather at night because a lot of people will be asleep at this time, and I really don't want that. So just be sure to keep a close eye on the system if you live out here, especially in Louisiana. It looks like a pretty decent little line. So we'll definitely really keep an eye on it. All right, y'all. Let's bring up our instability again. Actually, you know what? I want to just overlay our wind shear. I want to see our mid-level flow. I really wish the soundings worked because that would be nice. I got to kind of look at everything manually since soundings aren't really working. This is our mid-level flow right here. Should be. Oh, wow. Look at that. Mid-level flow. We have about 50, maybe 60, 70 knots in some spots. So, yeah, you can see our mid-level flow shows. Here, we'll make this a little bit bigger there. So we go this way with our mid-level flow going to the northeast. And if we change that to lower level winds, actually, you know what? The lower level winds go a little bit more north. Yeah, so there's a little bit of veering winds there. That's important. It's very important. Will this hit RSW? What is RSW? I'm terrible with those. See, wouldn't rule out a higher end isolated storm on a marginal day if storm fire's in the right place. It seems like kinematics are weaker on Friday. Here, let's bring back up our mix layer cape here. We'll do that. Pull up our reflectivity. And we'll also bring up our 850 millibar winds. There we go. All right, well, actually, we'll put the winds under. There we go. Perfect. It's like the perfect overlay there. Yeah, I mean, you can see, though. I mean, we do have a little bit of a lower level jet. Actually, you know what? Our RFS shows maybe about 35 knot. 30, 35 knot lower level jet. It's actually stronger than what I was thinking here. Maybe it was the NAM that was showing it weaker. Huh. Let's see. I'm going to be concerned for my sister, Figure, and Zachary about 30 minutes north of Baton Rouge. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't worry about it. I wouldn't ignore it either. I mean, it's definitely something to look into. Just have them keep a close eye on it. It's definitely, something that we do need to look into. But yeah, but it's not something that you need to really worry about. But keep a close eye on it, though. Beanie, I'm not. Why would I? Southwest Florida. Florida could see some activity here. The long range, it does show it. Working its way out there. But we'll have to wait until see whenever we get more mid-range support. Think of that because of the 0 HRRR. Yeah, we'll have to. Was HRRR even close yet? Let's see. Yeah, 0 Zulu HRRR does not go that far. It's only. Oh, that's right. It's only 48 hours. It does show the beginning of Friday's event, though. Yeah. I don't know. I think Saturday, Sunday is going to be the biggest concern personally. That's I think where we're going to have the greatest threat for severe weather. Because at that point we have higher kinematics, stronger wind shear, as well as more instability. Sounds good, Beanie. Thanks for stopping by. Got like no sleep this week. I hear you, man. I hear you. Max, we're not expecting any tornadoes out there, thankfully. This is most likely going to be a bit to the south, more of a southerly storm system. This system in general is going to be mostly for like Texas, Louisiana, and bits of the Gulf Coast. You're going to be a little high up north latitude to really see anything severe. Here, we'll hop back to the RRFS model here. Go back to the 0 UTC. There you go. So there's Friday. Then we go into Saturday. Saturday's kind of a mixed mode. Maybe a little bit of linear activity with some prefrontals. And then it just blows up into a full line on Sunday. Let's see. Significant tornado parameter values are pretty elevated on the marginal day. And the soundings are nice. Yeah, I wish I could look at soundings here. Hopefully, I think I might need to just update the program, which is why it's not wanting to work very well. But yeah, no, I do think that there will be possibly a little bit of an isolated tornado threat here for Friday as well. I mean, just given our kinematics, it seems like we have a pretty decent, pretty decent amount of lower level wind shear. So yeah, I know there's one storm every year between January and March. Will probably go moderate. It's hard to say. I mean, some years are more active than others. Last year, I can't believe last year we had a high risk on my birthday of all days, April 2nd. Now that was something else. Probably why Kala doesn't get here for more of the live streams. Junior here. I gotcha. But anyways, yeah, you guys, we'll keep you guys up to date here. Whenever we get more model data and stuff. But like I said, we're just now starting to get some, short and mid-range model data. So we'll definitely be here to cover it too. I definitely do plan on doing coverage on Sunday, especially Sunday. That seems to be like the biggest of the days. What about northern middle of Alabama? I got family up in Montgomery. They definitely could be involved. Maybe a little bit of severe weather here. Let's go back to 18 Zulu Nam. Actually, we'll have to hop to 0 Zulu Nam here. Actually, you know what? We're gonna pull up GFS. Yeah, I mean, Alabama will likely be included in some of the severe risk here for Sunday. Yeah, mostly Sunday morning from what it looks like. And then, of course, maybe even bits of like southern Georgia, portions of Florida could be included too. I really think that Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama are going to probably be the main states affected. What's up, Samuel? Good to see ya. Here, a little bring back up our 0. I wonder if we can go back to the 18 Zulu. Here we go. This is the RRFS 18. Okay, pretty similar. Still kind of develops a bit of a line for Sunday. Yeah, Saturday. Okay, so it seems like Saturday is a line with a bunch of prefrontal storms on it. You can kind of see the main line here, and a bunch of like scattered storms ahead of it. These are the ones you got to really look out for. The prefrontals, they could really kick off into something nasty. I mean, given our kinematics, like I said, we have about a 45. I see some 45 knot wind barbs in there for lower level shear. How many people are still without power in Louisiana and Tennessee? Let me pull up the power outage map. Let's see. Doesn't show much. Here. Let me bring this back up. So here's our current power outages. So in Louisiana, we got no outages. Or 115, sorry. There's not many people without power in Louisiana. And you said where else? Tennessee? Tennessee has 1,000. Yep. Seems like power has been mostly restored. But, I assume from this event here, we'll probably have some more power outages. Like I said, I think the main concern, y'all, is going to be damaging winds and tornadoes. I think that's going to be a bit of a concern. Here, I wonder if I can bring up the COD here. We'll pull up NAM. the forbidden NAM. That was a crazy ice storm, though. I wonder if forcing will be enough for the prefrontals. I don't know. We'll have to. I'm really curious to see once the HRRR gets a hold of it, to see like how our lift is looking like. Oh shoot, I forgot NAM. They really need to add the RRFS model here. But now you can grab a few soundings. We'll grab one from GFS. This is the new 0 Zulu. So you think that there'll be a lot of tornadoes this year? Possibly. Yeah, so we have a little bit of varying winds there. You can see our lower winds towards the ground are going pretty much straight north. So southerly flow from the south to the north. And you go up, and the wind direction changes from southwest to northeast. So there's a bit of a veering wind column there. Also, our moisture is pretty good. I mean, mid-60 dew points. It's warm enough to hold a lot more water vapor than, say, lower 50s or whatever. However, instability seems pretty weak in this sounding. There's not a lot of unstable air, but it could be just enough to maybe get some severe weather out of it. But that's GFS. GFS is a low-res, long-range model, which typically from past experiences, I've seen the GFS really lack to perform with these events like this. This is where the short-range models really shine. So we'll just wait and see, especially with the HRRR kind of once we start getting more data that way. Let's see. Early in January, event lacked proper forcing from prefrontals. We'll see how this goes. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm pretty sure the overall strength of this low can directly correlate with the amount of lift we get. As well as instability. The more unstable the air is, the more let's see, the more vertical velocity there is, essentially. Let's see. I don't trust these long-range models with these winter events. They really struggle. Yeah, they really do. They really do. And that's what I was saying is like the short range models, they tend to do a lot better. They tend to do a lot better. With these type of events. Here we'll go back to the 0 Zulu. Yeah, that's a pretty gnarly little line there from the RRFS. Can I read your last comment, please? I did not see. Oh, sorry, I did not mean to skip over your comment. I'm not trying. I hope you know I'm not skipping over anybody. I just didn't see it. Just for good measure, I say that just rain for East Tennessee Sunday. From the way it looks, yeah, it doesn't look like the instability or the fuel for these storms will reach that high, due to the low being further south of you. You'll probably get some rain out of it, probably. Let's see. Hopefully only EF0 to EF2. Yeah, I hope so. I feel like we'd be in a lot more trouble if we had more instability. Because, I mean, the kinematics seem pretty good, That wind shear seems pretty decent. I mean, like I said, a 45, 50 knot lower level jet. I mean, we'll bring that up, actually. Here's our lower level jet. Yeah, we got some 50 knot wind barbs in there. I mean, that's pretty decent. But anyways. All right, everybody. Well, I think I'm probably going to roll off for now. Just wanted to hop on here. I know it's kind of late. I just wanted to give you all a little bit of an update here. But thank you all for joining. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Maybe leaving a like. That'd be greatly appreciated. But, we'll give you guys more updates tomorrow. I do plan on covering this on Sunday as well. So I hope to see you guys there. And if you guys could, maybe leave a like on your way out as well. Just want to say thank you, everybody, for watching. And if y'all have any comments or questions, let us know. We also have our Discord, y'all. It's in the description. If you guys want to join and hang out on our Discord, sometimes I even join in the voice chat and we could talk if y'all have any questions or anything. Yeah, if y'all have Discord, feel free to join. It's there in the description. But all right, everybody. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. We'll hop on here tomorrow. We'll give you guys more updates. I'll probably even make a video tonight and have it ready for you guys tomorrow afternoon. So by then we'll have some more stuff for you guys. You're welcome, Sonia. No problem. Twilight says, good night, Andrew. Stay safe. Yeah, if you guys have any questions before I roll off, let me know. Don't hesitate to ask. Like I said, we're here to help, guys. We're here to keep you guys up to date. Here to keep you guys weather aware and prepared, of course. But yeah, I mean, yeah, we pretty much went over everything we needed to for tonight. Plus, it's getting late. I'm not going to hold you guys here for too long. But I mean, yeah, look at that lower level jet there. I mean, that's pretty concerning. If that actually played out with that strong of lower level flow, like I said, if we had more instability, that's where I'd really start to be a little bit more concerned. But yeah, it's there. All right. Twilight says, good night, Andrew. Stay safe. You too, my friend. Free Thank says, see you tomorrow. You as well. Thank you so much. Once again, Free Thank you. Thanks for the kind love and support. I appreciate it, my friend. And but yeah, thank you to all of the donators, guys. You all seriously are amazing, and you guys really help keep our channel afloat and just help allow us to do what we do. So for the super chatters, the donators, thank you guys so much. Shout out goes to Mizzle, as well as Free Thanking. You guys are awesome. Really appreciate you guys for the love and support. It goes a long way, helps out a lot. So I just want to say thank you guys once again, and thank everybody for joining. Seriously, thank every single one of you, just for hanging out with us, enjoying these streams, and like I said, we'll keep you guys up to date. Don't worry. We'll make sure that y'all are staying up to date. Try not to worry about this event. I know a lot of people have like storm anxiety and stuff, which I totally get. I mean, I used to be one of them. But we'll get through this. And like I said, I'll be here to cover. I'm going to plan to stream as long as I can on Sunday. I plan on covering the entire state of Louisiana. So that I do plan on doing. What's up, Scott? Good to see you. See you. We need you, Andrew. I'm here for you. I ain't going nowhere. I promise. I'll be here to help you guys. I'll be right here, y'all. I guess one more time we'll go over this real fast, and then I'm really going to head off here, guys. So let's bring back up our RFS model here. We'll go back to 0 UTC, and we'll pull back up our thingy here. Here, let's go back to composite reflectivity. Yeah, so like I said, everything's going to start on Friday. You can see Friday we start to get some storms firing off across West Texas. SPC, Storm Prediction Center, right now does have a marginal level 1 threat for severe weather for West Texas. Then, of course, we go further down in time. Storms do kick off into Saturday as well. Kind of a line maybe developing, a bit of a prefrontal storms. And then we get a really big line going through Sunday. I probably will not cover Saturday because of the fact I'm going to cover early Sunday. Because, like I said, my sleep schedule's been pretty bad. I've been, intentionally, I've been up all night and asleep all day for the most part. It's unfortunate, but I have to do that for now. But yeah, I'll be here Sunday to cover the entire event here. So we'll be here to help you guys out with Sunday's coverage. So keep that in your books. Y'all be sure to join us and hang out with us on Sunday, as we'll be here to give y'all coverage here. And if y'all know anybody out there in Louisiana, give them a heads up. Eastern Central Texas, give them a heads up. I mean, even Mississippi, you can see, could probably be in the line here. So these areas just need to be on the lookout here. Try not to worry about it, like I said, but it's definitely something we need to look out for. Alrighty, everybody. All right, y'all. Well, I'm going to roll off for real now. Thank you guys so much for joining. I appreciate y'all. Much love to you guys. And like I said, don't worry about it. We'll get through this. And if you guys could maybe leave a like, hit that subscribe button on your way out if you haven't. And maybe even share to a friend or a family member just to help spread the channel. It'll be greatly appreciated. And it could definitely ensure that you guys are staying weather-aware and staying safe. That's the whole point of the channel, is just so that I can keep you guys up to date. I just love tracking weather, and I love helping out people in the process. So, that's what I'm here for. Alrighty, everybody. Thank you all for joining. I really appreciate it. Once again, shout out goes to our donators. Once again, Mizzle as well as Free Thinking. Thank you guys so much for the kind love and support. And thank you, everybody, for joining and hanging out with us. And we'll see you guys here for tomorrow, back for more updates. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining. See ya later on. Peace out, my friends. Catch y'all in the next one.